Alright guys, so this is Matt Contreras with San Angelo Live. Today we're coming at you from Henry's Mexican Food Diner with none other than candidate Lieutenant Mike Hernandez. So thank you so much for doing this, first of all, for San Angelo Live. So Mr. Hernandez, or Lieutenant Hernandez, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Okay, so Lieutenant Mike Hernandez. I've been with the department a little over 33 years. Wow. I'm our current lieutenant over our Criminal Investigation Division, Evidence and CSI, and I'm also San Angelo Police Department's Critical Incident Commander.
Wow, nice. So you've been involved in the police department in San Angelo in some way for over 3 decades?
A little over 3 decades, yes sir. It's been quite a while, since 1990.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So, man, you must have seen the whole scene, San Angelo as a town, kind of grow and evolve in the past 30-something years. That's
Yes.
interesting, yeah. And so, why police chief then? What's making you run for police chief?
So, family violence. That's my
Really?
pet peeve. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I, early on when I was on the street as a patrolman, I just wanted to do all I could to stop those types of calls for service, if you will, and just do it to the best of our ability so that we can stop that violence.
Absolutely. And would you say that family violence is pretty common in San Angelo? I mean, I'm sure it is everywhere, but in San Angelo in particular?
I wouldn't say just San Angelo in particular, but everywhere. Family violence is it's up there, if you will. Different reasons. Folks struggling with their finances, their relationships, just the ups and downs of life.
It's really interesting. I wonder if also like drug involvement and addiction causes that too. And all kinds
It can be a contributing factor, but
Yeah.
obviously sometimes folks they're different. We're all different.
Right. Yeah.
And all kinds of health even comes into play sometimes. It's just the stress of life.
Yeah. Okay. Man, that's cool. So, what would you do? Let's say you win the race and you're the new police chief in San Angelo. Tell me 1 or 2 things that you would focus on changing or making better for San Angelo.
Okay, well, my platform is bringing back pride to the San Angelo Police Department,
Okay.
and that's through improved discipline, training, and recruitment and retention.
Okay.
We're struggling. We're not the only ones. Everyone in the state is struggling. When I applied in 1990, 275 applicants for 4 positions. Today, we might have 40 applicants for 20 positions.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
it's just a different game.
Yeah. Huh. So that's interesting. So, whenever you first became a police officer in San Angelo, you were just like on patrol, right? Did you work nights or days or both?
I've worked a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I've actually worked in patrol, gangs, narcotics, SWAT, special operations.
Oh, that is cool to hear.
And now the detective division. The only thing I haven't done, and I just never had a desire, was the motor unit, which works through crashes and writes citations.
Okay. I think that's important. I think to have a candidate that kind of has experience in every area like that is really important. That way you know a little bit about everything and can make changes if you need to because you've kind of seen how each department operates. So that's pretty cool. But also, we want to know, like, what is it about you as an individual that makes you driven to first of all be a police officer, but second of all to be a leader and lead police officers? Like, what is it in you that
So, right out of high school, I went to the Marine Corps and came home and wanted to serve. And I truly believe that's what we do most of the time. Law enforcement throughout the world, the motto is protect and serve. But I feel like we serve more than we protect. Obviously, protection comes in the form of reaction sometimes. And so my mission statement, if you will, for the San Angelo Police Department that I want to implement is serving and protecting all call through professionalism, pride, and I'm sorry, I'm losing the last
right.
one right now. Purpose.
Purpose.
And to have purpose, so that that these officers truly buy into what it means to serve the public.
And that's good.
And since I've been doing it for a little over 36 years, I believe that my experience, my training, my past these 3 decades, like you said,
Yeah.
speak for themselves.
That's really good. Thank you for sharing that one. And lastly, just tell us, growing up here as a kid or maybe as a teenager, tell us about an experience that you had in San Angelo that you remember that was kind of something interesting.
Well, honestly, I'm just going to have to share a personal story. Nothing against my dad, but he was violent towards my mom.
Okay.
And at 10 years old, I couldn't stop him, obviously. And so that was the reason that I just chose to go into law enforcement to stop the abuse and to be a part of that, like as much as I could be.
Yeah.
And I feel that during my career, I've made many arrests, whether it was in narcotics, the gangs patrol, but somehow, some way, I've always ended up at one of those calls because it truly was something in my heart that if I heard a call on the radio to say we have a family violence situation going on here, I would respond. It didn't matter what unit I was with. Yes, sir. So
Wow,
I believe that was why I chose this path.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously understand why. That's kind of why you're doing it. Is you have that intrinsic motivating factor. I mean, obviously, and I bet it feels amazing to make a difference doing that for people, because you've experienced it.
Amazing, frustrated. There's some things that come into play. You do feel good about making an arrest, but then, sometimes the victims don't want to be victims. Sometimes the victims go back to the perpetrators. Now, sometimes it works out, but just trying to protect them and not make it any worse than a Class A assault, which is a misdemeanor,
right.
And making sure and trying to do our best that the courts. That we prepare our cases the best we can for the court system, so that we not only make the arrest, but that we actually get time for time served for the arrest.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. Just one more, I promise. How have you, because I think it's fascinating, you've been around the community and have served the community for that long. How have you seen San Angelo change throughout the last 33 years?
Let me tell you, some of the guys, the younger guys, make fun. Here comes the old timer.
Yeah.
Something about a bat light in the sky, responder calls.
Right.
But when I came on, we didn't have semi-automatic handguns. We didn't have computers in the car. We didn't have body cameras. And what I said when those came into effect was that it makes a good officer better and a bad officer gone. That's the biggest change I've seen.
Okay.
And then technology, we're trying to stay up with it, and it's a tour.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Hernandez. I seriously can't thank you for being so candid. To me, that was very authentic, and I wish you the best. And thank you so much for doing this.
Well, thank you so much. I'm the best candidate for the San Angelo Police Department. I am Lieutenant Mike Hernandez, and I am a 33-year vet of the San Angelo Police Department. I'm happy to report that I'm just one of the many local men and women who still takes pride in the calling